Hey, it's the mechanic. What's going on? Got some crazy stuff going on. I got this Honda Pilot that I bought, and I wanted to show you guys how to build a strut compressor. I bought a Honda Pilot. It had blown struts in the front, so I ended up changing them, and I've changed many struts, and I always just use the same shitty contraptions that I've had forever, which is like a big pie with a bolt in it that threads and smushes the spring. And so I wanted to show you guys another option. If you guys are looking for cool projects to build and sweet stuff to have for the shop, but you don't have a whole lot of money, which is always me. I got tons of ideas, but no money that I really want to spend on anything. So anyway, like, I've needed a strut compressor for a while. You know, I don't do them that often. I do them like 2 or 3 times a month, maybe. You know, just depends. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But it really sucks for me to spend $1,000 to buy a strut compressor for something that I only do 2 times a month. It kills your profit margin. So I'm not really into that. But luckily for me, I got a bunch of steel sitting around, and some of you guys have steel laying around and you're always looking for projects. Well, here's a wicked project for you. It's called a strut compressor. You know, a strut goes in a car and it dampens the energy of a car. When a car's running down the street, it's got springs, leaf springs or coil springs. And a coil spring, when you compress it, just bounces right back to where it was. You press a spring and it goes right back to where it was. So then there's a thing called a dampener inside there that's a hydraulic or an air-actuated dampener. And so when you drive over that bump, the spring compresses, and instead of going right back up to where it was, the dampener slowly lets it go up and slowly lets it go down. And that's a way to try and keep you from killing yourself and your family in the car as you drive down the road on a bumpy road and lose control. You've also got what's called sway bars that help too. So anyway, that's what a strut does. That was your basic crash course 101 to suspensions. So struts, when they're blown, you'll hear all types of weird noises bouncing around in the front end. You hit the brakes really hard and the car dips really bad and goes right back to where it was. Those are all signs that your struts are blown, but whatever. So anyway, so how do you change them? Well, you obviously yank them out of the car. They're pretty simple. Let's look at how, on this Honda Pilot, for instance. Here's the Honda Pilot. It's an 03. Nothing magical. There's some plastic cap stuff. You pop it up with some plastic little tabs. There's 3 bolts inside here. 1, 2, 3. 3 14 millimeters. Most cars are like this too. Like, you know, there's a little bit of differences, but most cars are very similar. So you got some bolts that hold the top cap on. This is called your strut tower cap. There's a bearing in there kind of too that allows the car to spin as you turn the wheels to get a little bit of resistance off the car. And here's the other part. And this is a Honda specifically, but I've taken the brakes off. And I took the rotor off, which is pretty easy. I took the brakes and pads. Those are brake pads came off. The brake pad caliper bracket, which is this thing, just took it off. I've got my caliper I just took off for easy access. And then I took my actual strut off, okay? And the strut would go up in here, and there's a big coil spring in your car that you can probably see sometimes. A big coil spring, a weird looking circular rod in the center of that coil spring, and that's your strut, and it goes down to a piece of metal right in this area somewhere, and the metal bolts to this, okay? And it kind of just sits in here like this, and it just bounces up and down as you drive down the road. And obviously that's an axle, so that axle's sitting there spinning, transferring the energy for your car to the wheels through here. So anyway, so Bo, why the hell do you show us any of this? Well, I'm trying to give you an idea of what we got going on here. So this is like kind of all the shit that I've been messing with yesterday. You know, I didn't want to build a strut compressor because I'm lazy, but this is what I've been using for years and years. It's just an old school spring compressor. So it's got a bolt on it, and it just kind of sits inside here and it threads. And as you thread it together, it just keeps on going like this and smushes the coil spring to take the load off of it. And then you put your new strut in. So let's look at the strut over here, give you a better idea of what I'm talking about. This is a strut, if you had never seen one. When you go to the store and you buy a new set of struts from a parts manufacturer, or AutoZone, Advanced Auto Parts, or Riley's, wherever you guys buy it from, Dakota Power, or whatever they're called, Dakota Parts, this is what you get. It's a strut, okay? And this is the dampening thing that I told you about. As I push on it, look, I'm pushing on it, it goes down gingerly, and I let go, and it comes back very slowly. See, and I can pull it back up slightly and push it down over and over and over again all day long until it blows. So the problem is how the hell do you get that compressed? This is a huge coil spring. Look at how damn tall it is. Look at that. It's massive. It goes to my freaking knee. This is one of the biggest ones I've ever even seen in a car, like a small car. So this has to go onto this strut, and it sits in there like in its little cradle. and it needs to get compressed all the way down to like right here somewhere, okay, because this thing has a cap that goes on it. That cap's sitting over there, so the whole thing has to get smashed. Then you slide that cap on it, and then you put a little bolt on it. That's what all that holds it together, okay? And once you get it in the car, it doesn't really matter because there's the whole weight of the car pressing on it constantly. So it's not really in a, you know, in an expanded position. It's in a compressed position. But once you take it apart, it explodes. The spring goes to its full potential that it wants to be at, which is huge. And how do you get it back together? Well, you can fight with those, and they sell at part stores like kind of really scary things that are very similar to that. They kind of individual big screws, and it would grab it like right here, and it would grab it down here, and just one long rod in between the two. And they give you two, I think, in a set. So you get one on this side, one on this side, and you impact it on both sides. And it's scary as fuck if you've ever seen one explode, because you'll crank on this side, you'll crank on that side, and there's all this potential energy going on. And then all of a sudden the bolt bends or some craziness happens, and this thing just goes bow, and you know, it like almost kills you. So it's not that cool. So what I got going on finally is this contraption you see right here that I've got half-assed built. I always get ahead of myself and just start welding, and then I'm like, man, I need to show you guys what I got going on, because somebody might use this and think it's kind of useful. Probably not, because most of the shit that I make is stupid, but maybe somebody will help. And for that one guy, this shit's for you. So anyway, I had all this square tube laying around, which I'm slowly dwindling. I need to get more, but got a bunch of square tube, 1.5 inch square tube, and that's what I'm going to use. That's what I got. So as you can see, I bought like this $40 bottle jack. This has got a long throw on it, and by throw I mean long extension. It will extend 20 something inches, so it's a 24 inch. This is 24 inches tall, and it'll go another 20 inches. So it'll go all the way up to right here somewhere. So the whole idea is I've built this little frame, which I'm not quite done yet. I'm gonna have to reinforce this top piece up here and gusset it up. But the idea is that this will obviously slide. So I'll make this connect to this ram, okay? And then I'll make some type of contraption to hold that. So it'll be held down at the bottom. This part will be at the bottom, sitting there. And at the top up there, I'll build a contraption to catch the top cap, which is this thing, okay? And so as you hold at the top and you hold it at the bottom and you start compressing it, you compress all the energy, and you can still get your fingers in there to put the bolt on. And what will make it less dangerous is I'm gonna build a cage, some type of safety cage that folds down this way or this way to keep me from getting hit by any type of exploding spring. So from now on, when I do this, I can just set it up in my little jig, and it's a bottle jack, and just start jacking it up, take the pressure off of it, take the bolt off of it, and slowly release it, and not have to worry about any type of sketchiness. And that is really how most shops do it. They sell units kind of like this, but different, and they sell for quite a bit of money. You guys can Google strut compressors, and I mean, they're like 1,500 bucks. Most shops have them, big shops have them, but I'm not a big shop. I mean, fucking look at my shit. I'm not a, this is not damn Midas muffler or whatever the hell it's called. This is Bud the Mechanic. I do my own shit. So anyway, you know, TIG day, TIG everything, all day, every day, burning and earning. So I got my sweet ass TIG. I've given up on MIG welding. I mean, I can do it. I'm a badass at it, but I just chosen no more for the MIG, only for the TIG. And it's true, man. Like, once you start doing it all the time, you get really fucking quick. I can TIG fast, almost as fast as I can MIG weld now. So, you've seen kind of what I got going on here. I've got a sliding piece. I've got some uprights to catch some of the energy, and it's all pretty thick wall. This is pretty thick wall. This is like 1/8 inch thick, 1.5 inch square tube. So it's some pretty good stuff. You know, obviously it's been TIG welded pretty well, and blah. Got some more TIGging going on here. I just love to TIG. Sorry, I'm gay. But anyway, I'm going to continue. I'm going to continue welding. I'm going to do the bottom part and the top part, and I'm going to show you guys what it looks like when it's done. But this is just an idea of kind of what you could do at your house. Alright, so here we go. Hey, what's up? So I told you I'd get it done, and I did. I got the strut compressor pretty much working. Let's take a look and see what I've magically created. Before we do, let me tell you, this is like to show you guys what you can do when you don't have any money, you just got stuff. You know, they say that like necessity is the mother of invention, and it's true. Like, I just show you guys stuff that I build because a lot of times, you know, you don't have a whole lot of money and you need to get something done, and that's just what there is. That's what America used to be all about, is like you know, thinking and then doing something and just making it happen. It's not that easy. Sometimes it takes a long time, but when you get it done, it's pretty cool. So let's take a look. It's really simple. Strut compressor. Pretty wild, huh? I spray painted it black. It's so nice. It's basically just a press. I got like the RAM for 47 bucks, like I said, and I built a sliding contraption that slides there. As the jack is pressed, it slides up. And here's the top, which is obviously big enough for your cap retainer. This is an old strut, so I don't have the cap container. I've already replaced the struts on this car, but I kind of built it so it would be universal and do a lot of different things. So here's a strut. This is one of the ones that came off the car that's blown. Let me show you. So you grab this strut, let's see if it's blown. I should have tons of resistance down and up. No resistance. I can just go up and down with it. So this strut is blown. It's not working properly. That's why it had to be changed. So this strut will just slide in there. And it sits in there. And as you can see, this is all just 1-inch square tube. So I built a frame to hold the strut. I put this flat bar in the back just so you can have something to grab a hold of this and keep the strut centered. I wasn't gonna do it like that. See, I just take a bolt. I got this bolt. I just stick it through there. See, and this plate back here just kind of keeps that ass into the strut from shooting around. So now you put your spring in here, and then you put the cap in, and then you start jacking it up. And as you jack it up, it goes up slowly but surely, slowly but surely. So that's the basic of it. As you press it up, and then there's not really that much danger. I could probably put some type of safety cage around right here, just a couple bars, maybe there and there, so that in case the spring shot off. But I've used it now, and it doesn't really seem like it's going to go anywhere. This is like a trillion times safer than the old spring compressor that I had. I can't believe I've needed one for so long, and I've never fucking built one. But as you can see, it's like about 5 foot tall, 4.5 foot tall. And I'll just put it over in the corner, and when I need it, it's there. But you can kind of get the gist of it. It's just a 1.5 inch square tube welded with the base. And I was gonna reinforce this, but I don't even need to. This is some pretty thick wall. It's like an 1/8 inch thick wall, 16. It's pretty thick stuff. I don't know what gauge that is, but I don't see it really bending it, you know. And if it does, I'd come back in here and triangulate off here maybe and then inside, but I just don't see it. I don't see it really being a problem. But this is what you can get. Please copy it. Please make one for yourselves if you think that you might need one. Please feel free to make it better if you think that you can too. So, like I said, just a simple strut compressor made out of free material that I had laying around. I show you this because I want more people to build cool tools. Homemade, you know. The more homemade tools we get, the cooler. So show me what you got. Send me some pictures. Do you have any emails of cool stuff that I could build? Let me know. I'll do it. And if you guys know anybody who's got cool stuff they want to just give me, and I'll use it, and I'll build cool shit out of it. I'm always willing for free shit. You guys have fun. Thank you. Bye.